how did you get? So you mentioned earlier that you you started out by sharing it with your friends and family.
Right.
I'm assuming you got about 100 subscribers from there, 100,
Yeah,
200.
yeah.
That's the first initial one. From there to 2000, how did you do it? And what's the time frame, by the way? So which month in 2021?
Yeah, so we started in I think July, I believe.
So you are exactly 1
It's
year.
almost a year, and yeah. So if you look at it from that perspective, it's been very slow.
No, it's
and
about
we've
slow.
not- yeah,
Just wanted to understand how from that 100, 200 to 2000.
Yeah. So again, we've not had like a consistent growth. So we've had like patches of growth.
All right.
So of course, I reached out to my IMA community.
Okay.
We have a lot of people from IIM Ahmedabad who are reading our content.
Right.
And that's it's always good to have such a community, right?
Right.
And apart from that, I did try a few things.
Okay.
Few things worked, few things didn't work.
Can you tell something which worked and which didn't work?
Yeah,
Just
so,
want the audience to know.
So a person on Twitter who had a good enough
Influencer marketing.
Yeah, it's not necessarily marketing. That
Right.
guy. So I didn't ask him to post, and I didn't know that person, and he himself posted.
Right.
And he had a good number of followers.
Right.
And that sort of bumped up.
How much did you get if you?
I think around 200 odd for one post of his, right?
That's awesome.
So he
And
did like two.
Do you have
three-
any clue how many subscribers or followers did that guy have on Twitter?
Yeah, he has close to 20K, I think.
Okay, so from 20K you had about 200.
Yeah.
coming
I think
up.
it's good enough, for without doing any sort of marketing.
Right.
It's basically word of mouth, right?
Right.
That
It's
guy-
1% basically conversion happening.
Yeah. So that
Yep.
guy likes our content. He posted it, and we got that, right?
So did you push through and try to?
Yeah. So
collaborate?
I did try. Again, Twitter influences are slightly different, compared
Yeah.
to Instagram, right? So
Right.
Instagram, you could just pay it off and ask them to post something.
Exactly.
Twitter, you need to be a little more subtle, and unless they like your content, and we don't want people on Twitter who have followers but who don't have the kind of followers that we need.
Exactly.
Right? So we don't want any random follower who just does it for the sake of following this person, right?
Right,
So
right.
And doesn't engage with us, right? So we need to target those kind of people who are talking about news, who are interested in news,
Okay.
who are interested in both the sides.
Right.
So I did reach out to a few people, but it's been tough to
I can imagine because you have a lot of hardcore professionals there, and
Right.
for them sharing something really means that they care about it.
Correct,
Right.
correct.
So within your community of like 2,000 people, did you try out something? I mean, the referral part of it, because
No, so we did have plans for referrals, but so I'll tell you, there were a few things that I could have done, but I didn't because I felt it was probably not the right way to go. A couple of things that I did and later felt I shouldn't have done.
Okay.
So I sponsored a couple of events, right?
and these events were in college.
So yeah, college events.
Okay.
So one was in my institute, IIM Ahmedabad.
Okay.
So they had a huge event about marketing, I think, and they had a separate section called debate, right? So
Okay.
so the people from all across the country would come and participate in events and workshops and speaker sessions and all that. There was a separate event called debate event. So I sponsored that. So that sort of gave me a good reach, I would say.
Okay.
Not necessarily in terms of subscribers, but at least I got to put my name out there.
Right.
Either view's name out there.
Right.
And I did try this with another Delhi-based university, DU college.
Right.
And that sort of, so how it worked was, so when I pitched to them, I said, I'm doing this, but I would also need a few, subscribers, right? Either from your college or, it could be a win-win for both of us because I'm, paying for the sponsorship and all that.
Right.
So IMA, it sort of worked, sort of didn't, but I didn't have any major issues there.
Right.
But in this college, what happened was people subscribed.
Right.
And the next day, everybody unsubscribed.
Okay. So it was kind of a forced thing that you did.
Yeah. So and I didn't want that, right? So
Right.
so I was very clear in my communication that nobody should be forced to
Right.
subscribe. We need to be out there. We hope that people will subscribe.
Right.
So what happened was, in their eagerness to show some numbers that because you've given some money, so we are showing you this, they got a bunch of people, 100 odd people only, but
Right.
but that affected our deliveries, right? So we got a warning on our ESP saying a bunch of them are unsubscribing.
Right.
And that's like you're dependent on the ESPs.
Right.
And that sort of hit me. That's the first time I got to know the the ins and outs of how ESPs work and what kind of checks and balances they have.
Right.
And that sort of put a break on the kind of things that I wanted to do.
Right.
Because I didn't want to have people subscribing and then unsubscribing.
Right.
Just
so
for
in a
sake
way,
of
it kind of sponsoring events did work
It-
out, and
yeah,
but
yeah.
more on you weren't really happy with
Yeah,
it. There
I
are too
wasn't
many
really happy with that.
risks associated
Yes,
with it,
yes.
right? Anything else apart from
I did do like Facebook marketing,
Alright.
Facebook, Instagram marketing, but
It
I
did-
did get a lot of likes for the post itself,
Right.
the ad itself,
Right.
but none of them converted into subscribers.
So
right?
mostly it has been a lot of organic growth. for
Yes,